Welcome to Thomas the Train and the Gauntlet of boom, 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 Carnage.
No trains were harmed in the filming of this. All right, like I said, it's Thomas the Train and the Gauntlet of Carnage. So our goal here is we want to set up two trains on opposite ends of a track. Now our track is 3.5 meters long. So one train's going to start at x equals 0. One train's going to start at x equals 3.5 meters. And we want to see where are those trains going to hit in the middle. Okay, we'll test this in class. So your job here is to essentially figure out the velocity of the two trains and then calculate where they're going to meet. So in each lab, we do a focus. And so for this lab, this is kind of our general goal. We want to find this Carnage point. But on each lab report, there's a focus on one skill that goes with the lab. So the focus we're going to look at here is the procedure. Now, typically when we're in class, you kind of come up with these all on your own and do them. For this one, because it's a virtual lab, you're going to kind of choose your own adventure, I guess. All the data's kind of collected. You're going to collect it too, but you just got to choose which ones you want. So when we do a procedure, there's three things I want to see you write about. I want you to tell me what you did specifically, okay? So for instance, tell me how did you time the train as it went its 1 meter? Tell me what you did. Tell me how you did it. So I timed the train to go 1 meter. I did it by this. And I used the drop method maybe. Why did you choose that method? So I really need justification on how you did it and why you did it in your procedure. So for each lab write-up, there's a blue packet, and we'll do this more in the lab write-up video. So we'll get to that later. But this is your goal. This is what you want to be thinking about when you're making these decisions here today. So what are you going to do, how are you going to do it, and why did you choose to do it that way? So the first thing you got to do is choose two trains. So let's take a look at those trains. All right, so these are the trains you have to choose from. We have Rosie, Bella, Percy, Thomas, and James. So go ahead, pick two trains that you want to see collide in Carnage. And all right, see, we got some contenders there, right? So who are we going to pick? So pick two of them. Next, you need to choose a timing method that's going to work the best that you think. And you're going to have to kind of think about, all right, I'm going to talk about how we did that timing method and then why did I choose that method. So let's take a look at those two timing methods available. All right, I want to talk about the two options we have available to us for our starting methods. We have the running start method and the drop start method. So the drop start method works like this. I'll start the train and I'll say 3, 2, 1, drop. And I'll drop it. And as soon as I drop it, you start your timer because I will be starting it right on that start line, and then you stop your timer when it gets to the end line. The running start method is, instead of me dropping it, it's one where I start it back. And so maybe here's the start line, and I start it back here, and then it goes starting, and it starts, and it goes, and eventually it reaches that point, and that's when you start your stopwatch. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about these two methods and what are the pros and cons to each one and which one is going to be best for this situation, and that's what you're justifying in your procedure. All right, so you got a choice. You can do the drop method or you can do the running start method. So when you make that choice, again, remember, you're going to have to justify it in your procedure when you write up that lab write-up. Now, the next and last choice you have to make is the number of trials you're going to take. So each video for each train has a maximum of 10 trials, so you can pick anywhere in there. But remember, you will need to justify why you chose that number of trials. Okay, so next, what you're going to do is you're going to read through those instructions on that virtual lab. You're going to look at all those links and you're going to pick the ones that meet your kind of choose your own adventure. So let me give you an example. So let's say I chose Rosie. And I said, okay, Rosie, I'm going to do the drop method with Rosie. And so I need to look for the drop method with Rosie video. And then I'm going to say I'm going to do 2 trials. And so I'm going to just do the first 2 trials, timing it with my phone or whatever as I watch the videos. Okay? go ahead, read through those instructions, follow along, and then once you complete the lab, you calculate this place, you're ready to test in class. We'll test it in class. That's on Monday or Tuesday, whenever you get back. We'll test it in class, and then you'll be able to write your lab write-up, and there'll be a video you can watch that goes with the lab write-up.